Is this thing on?
Well, how's it going? We're back for season 2. Well, how's it going? Well, how's it going? I am. That was a terrible start. I apologise.
How's it going? Welcome back.
Well, how's it going?
Thanks.
That was terrible. That was so bad. Well, how's it going? Well, how's it going?
Well, how's it going? I'm not Ben. I'm Christian. I'm doing the intro.
Well, how's it going? Well, how's it going?
How's it going? We're back. Season 2.
That was good too. That was actually good.
How's it going? Welcome back.
Thanks,
Season
Matt.
2.
Episode
2.
2, yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
I've got Christian, Thomasina, Katamatic,
What? There's no need. Why
Thomas
is-
Lav.
That wasn't my point.
Thomasina.
There's just no need.
Thomasina is so Italian.
Domicino.
What?
Domicino.
Domicino. And I have Benjamin Kenneth Spiteri, and I'm Madison Paige Phipps. And we are here for a market update.
Full government names so unnecessary.
Yeah, do you guys want our social security numbers as well? Put them in.
You're American. Give them the tax file numbers.
What are they going to do with my tax file numbers? Hopefully pay my tax. I hopefully pay my
They're
tax.
going to steal your refund. We'll change the.
I don't get a fucking refund, mate. The dogs. Must have a bad accountant.
I was just going to say money bags over here.
No, I don't get any. No, I get no fucking nothing. I don't think I've ever gotten anything back.
Yeah, because you make so much money, they can't give any back.
No, I swear
They're paying
people still
more.
get some back.
Are we using this?
I don't know. I don't really care.
As long as
Someone give me my tax back.
as long as no one's admitting to tax fraud, we're okay.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
definitely not.
No.
Definitely
No
not.
one is.
Oh,
Anyway,
you just can't anymore. You can't get away with it.
No, unfortunately
Oh,
not.
my mum and dad also live next door to the tax office. I reckon surveillance is.
That's that real estate agent kid.
No, really, they actually moved the tax office next to my parents' house. No tax fraud.
Anyway, market update.
You can cut whatever you want out of that.
You got to run with it.
At this point, I'm probably just going to leave all of it in. So
Okay.
if you do get arrested, it's not my fault.
No, it's okay.
Actually, probably not you. I think you were more so dobbing your parents in than anything. Sorry, guys.
Just don't take my dogs. That's all.
That's what she cares about. Anyway, monetary policy. So I'll do sort of the wider economic update as usual, and Ben and Maddie will take care of the
Important stuff.
Wow. Tell us how you really feel. Look, I was pulling data and we're recording this on the 19th of April. So this episode probably won't go up for a little while after this. So, take
If
it all
anything's
with a grain of
changed,
salt.
soz.
Yeah. And look, we're also at the time of recording, a lot of the information we have are from. So I've used, the RBA's latest statement on monetary policy was back in February. So even now it's dated, let alone in a few weeks when this episode actually goes live. So take it all with a grain of salt. But the main thing, the headline thing everybody's been talking about for the last month is inflation making a very unexpected comeback. Not the sort of, comeback you want to see this
Yeah.
season.
People are out spending money.
Yeah. So in the 12 months leading up to December 2025, so the Christmas sort of quarter, headline inflation rose at 3.6% and underlying inflation rose at 3.4%.
Stun.
Gentle reminder that it's supposed to be between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Which we did get back into that band after our war on inflation was won and we all...
Bloody trim meat. See, that's something I took away from season 1.
Trimmed meat.
Trimmed meat. She knows what it is now.
Yeah.
In the 12 months leading up to February 2026, headline inflation was at 3.7, underlying was at 3.3. So it spiked pretty heavily.
Mm-hmm.
The February and March RBA meetings this year, we've already seen 2 increases to the cash rate, which is very much against what the expectations were, going into the end of last year. Don't look at me like that, Nostradamus.
Weren't my expectations.
The RBA's forecast, by the way, so in its February statement of monetary policy, they're predicting that headline inflation is going to peak at about 4.2% in June this year, and that it won't be back within the target band until about June 2027.
What does that mean?
Basically means that inflation is not going to be back to where they want it to be and for over a year, the next year and a half.
Yeah.
And that was back in February. That was before we've had a whole bunch of other
I
shocks.
have a really good
market, which I'll
idea
talk
to
about.
how we could bring it down.
How?
Everyone just stop spending money. How about that?
We wouldn't have
But we need to live.
No, except houses.
a job.
Everything else is off
Sorry.
limits.
But how do we?
Pubs, restaurants.
You're all get out. I
clothing
actually was
stores.
driving down Crown Street today and I got to those lights there that where Grilled is at the bottom. And I looked up at that, the bridge there. It was like a mosh pit going on in there. I've never not seen the mall so full. Like, Wollongong City Central is usually a ghost town. People are shopping.
What about that yogurt place on the corner?
Oh, yeah.
There's been 1,000
I reckon that the
people
whole
there.
inflation rate of
Freaking love
1%
It's coming out of yogurt.
is coming out of Yochi.
It's so
Yochi.
fucking good.
And
though.
half of it is me.
I've never been.
And I'm the other half, I reckon. I've been a few times, but it's so good.
good.
It's so good.
We'll have to go on an excursion. No, it's so good.
Mukbang,
I only get the same thing every time I go, though.
I don't. I've never once got the same thing from that place. I'm like a little kid at Christmas, like on Christmas when I walk into that place. Like
I'm the most boring bitch there, I reckon.
I'm not. I actually genuinely look like a unicorn.
I only get signature tart.
Bad.
Signature tart. That's it. Pistachio sauce and strawberries. That's it.
This is the news that people came to hear off their market.
Yeah, I actually think that this is what's going to be clicked. What's your Yochi order?
It's going to be clipped 100%. But anyway, can we get back to the market update?
Yes.
That was such...
You keep
I
on.
want Yochi.
Me too. We'll get it later. You know what? Next episode, we'll all have Yochi.
Yes, let's have Yochi. Good idea.
Or we'll do an episode in Yochi. We'll go film.
Oh, yeah, with the 800 kids on school holidays around us.
School holidays is done now. It's all right. We're good.
Okay.
We're in the clear.
That's fine.
Anyway.
Shops the last day. Sorry.
Yeah, the only other note I had on there is that the outlook that I mentioned, so they're saying it's probably not going to get back within the target band until June 2027 in terms of inflation, which is not good. Again, that doesn't take into account since that statement, that was in February, we've already had a multitude of other shocks, which are going to shake that up even more, which I will talk about in a little bit.
Yep.
The labour market hasn't really changed since my last update, really. The labour market is still very stable. Unemployment is still sitting at about 4.2% for the 12 months leading to December 2025, which is still record lows. The participation rate and employment to population ratios remain at record highs as well. And there's still a degree of relative tightness in the labour market. So labour market's doing well. There's jobs. People have jobs. That might change.
Jobs, people have lots of money to spend.
Apparently so. So they tell us. But anyway, GDP, so the economic growth in general, has actually proven quite resilient against what they were sort of initially thinking. So the near-term outlook was revised upwards. GDP growth rose to 2.1% in the September quarter. And data from the ABS shows that they still don't have the full, at the time of me doing my research last week, they didn't have the final figures for the December quarter, but they were predicting that GDP growth was going to go up to like 2.6%, which is surprisingly strong considering everything happened last year. So overall outlook, economic growth has proven strong despite the previous forecasts. We talked about all the shocks we had last year, especially with the tariffs and Donald Trump's war on everybody.
That doesn't stop.
It's only gotten worse.
It's now gone from trade wars to actual wars. But anyway, the labour market is expected to remain quite stable. The only thing, obviously, is economists are predicting further rate hikes because inflation keeps spiking. In layman's terms, I basically put, cool, why is inflation so high, though? Okay, can we stop? I don't know why I said that like that.
Did you just say lamey?
You leave me alone, okay? I just want to go to bed. If you have a mortgage, brace yourself for more pain. Basically, it's not a good outlook if you have a mortgage.
It's never is.
If you had a mortgage on a variable rate, what would you do?
Well, the problem is that the lenders have already, at the time of recording this, they've already jacked up all their fixed rates. So if you go to fixed rate, you've kind of missed the boat. Well, it depends how much higher you think they're going to go, really. I also had a note here saying, can Donald Trump please just stop bombing people? Because now I can't afford petrol. All right, we're back. We had to cut. Sorry. We're back. I was just basically asking Donald Trump to stop bombing people. And so there's been further developments since I did my research for about a week and a half ago. But a lot of the head economists in this country are now predicting that we actually are going to fall into a recession in the next few months. Which, even if you know nothing about economics, you know that recession is not a good word. Not a nice word. It's a buzzword for all the wrong reasons.
Yes.
The other thing, the RBA is now also starting to cite genuine fears of something called stagflation. So,
stagflation.
That sounds so scary.
That sounds like a trip away.
What, like a stag do? Are you thinking of Bucks parties?
So the price of stag do's are going to go through the roof in the next 3 years. No, stagflation is actually a very scary thing in economics, though, to be fair. And basically what it is crazy runaway inflation, so very high inflation, but with complete, but whilst also seeing a significant decline in economic growth.
Have we ever seen that?
Not recently, not in the last few decades. Australia's had steady economic growth now for the better part of the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
But what's that? So generally what happens, right, in basic economic theory states that when inflation is low, generally speaking, it means activity levels are going to drop a little bit too. So if inflation's high, your economy should then still be growing. Economic growth should be good. So they kind of work almost not counterintuitively, but they sort of balance each
Yep.
other. So if both of them are shit, there's something is really wrong.
Mm.
And the RBA is now citing that could be there's something they're concerned about because inflation is still going through the roof. And obviously a big reason for that is a lot of the price shocks we've had thanks to Mr. DJ Trump. And again, the war going on in Iran it's completely rocked global markets. It's really bad. And that's obviously because the thing is when something like fuel, which is such an important good, when that obviously has spikes in prices, it leads to widespread issues across the whole economy because it's not a matter of you're paying more for petrol. You then start sort of changing the way you go about your daily activities, right? Yeah. Consumers are going to sort of significantly alter it. Everything becomes more expensive as a result. So, even you go to Woolies and you want to buy groceries, the groceries are going to be more expensive because
the trucks,
it costs more for them to get it to the grocery store for you. So they're going to increase their price to protect their margins. I
can't see petrol ever going back to normal. I feel like they do this just like the housing market, right, through COVID. Maybe not the same thing hand in hand, but people start getting used to paying those prices for things and they just get away with it and they just think, oh, no one's going to question it. We'll just leave it at that. So I feel like it almost just sets a new precinct for what everything costs. And that's just the way it ends up staying because we get used to it.
Pretty much. And all that being said, realistically, the Australian economy the outlook's not good right now.
No.
It's that most economists are almost certain we're going to dip into a recession soon.
Not to be a negative Nelly, but
it is what it is, right? Yeah. And look, it's obviously there's always negative connotations to recessions, and the reason for that is because recessions usually see high unemployment and people struggling to pay their bills, obviously. So it's not great, but it is a natural part of the economic cycle, right? And it usually acts as a bit of a reset on the economy. So it's not always a bad thing.
Yes.
But if we fall into the territory of stagflation during that process, we're in trouble.
I'm going to have nightmares about stagflation now.
Yeah. Lender predictions. This one's always a fun exercise. So I don't know if they've amended these yet. I don't think they will until the next statement from the RBA anyway. But basically, all of the major banks are predicting at least one more hike by June, so in the next 2 months, giving us a total of 3 hikes in the first half of this calendar year. So currently, the cash rate is sitting at 4.1%. I basically just looked at the predictions of the chief economist for all the big four banks. So Adam Boyton, he's the head of Australian economics at ANZ. He predicts one more hike of 0.25% to bring the cash rate to 4.35 by the end of June, so another 0.25%. ANZ then predicts that this will just remain at that level right through to June 2027. So overall, not terrible as of an outlook. I think that'll change given the territory we're about to start heading into, because again, these are all sort of not taking into account the latest lot of shocks we've had. Belinda Allen, who is the head of Australian economics at CBA, so the biggest bank in the country, also predict another 0.25% by June 2026. They then also think there will be a 0.25% cut sometime in the new year. So they reckon by the time we get to June 2027, we'll be back to where we are now.
I think what they should have done is just put it up 0.5 and say, see you all in October.
I wish the economy worked like that, Madison.
I wish they put it up just a bit more than what they should have and reassessed it in October. Not just, we'll keep crawling. They should have just done something effective, smash it, and just said.
I feel like if it goes up that larger amount, though, and then it's, let's draw it back. The problem is over connotation that it's successful and they can go back out and spend money again. Like
we're not naughty children. I think they need to do a little bit more education on what interest rates actually do and why they do go up and down. Because when I talk to people, they're like, just because they hate us.
It's like the government.
They don't understand as to why interest rates go up and down. And I think that they maybe should put some money into a campaign.
Like the petrol
They do.
one.
It's called an economics degree.
Yeah, but I'm sorry.
I pay good money for that knowledge, man. Come on.
But also,
I'm going to gatekeep
not everyone is like, I think that they should understand and that maybe some people would realize, okay, maybe I should be a little bit mindful of what I'm spending my money for. They have no idea that interest rates is in correlation to actually doing them good.
The bottom line that people don't understand is the RBA's sole job is to basically manage inflation, economic growth, and unemployment.
I don't think people understand
They don't give a shit about the cost of living. They don't give a shit about the housing crisis.
No.
None of it. That's not their job.
No.
It is literally the definition of
that's
not
what
my
people
responsibility.
think.
And so people,
thereafter. I think there just needs to be a little bit more education around it. I was explaining to the guy who does my nails. He was just crying, like bitching, whinging about interest rates. And I just said, this is why it happens, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, wow, that makes so much sense.
Well, the reality is if you don't have a centralized body like the RBA managing things like inflation, you can end up in situations where you get hyperinflation. And that's been seen quite a few times throughout history. A lot of economies have gone through hyperinflation where basically their currency just becomes so hyper overinflated that the cost of a basic good is like people basically end up. There was cases back in Germany in the 1920s during the Weimar Republic age where they had hyperinflation. It got to the point where money was so worthless. Like it was printed money back then too. Their currency was so worthless. It was actually cheaper to burn piles of money to keep warm than go buy firewood. It destroys your whole economy.
That was so interesting.
Yeah. Like a loaf of bread that started costing you whatever it was, like a
wheelbarrow,
like 3 million marks.
Started sewing your notes together for a blanket at night.
Yeah. Back to lender predictions, because they're always fun. NAB had the same predictions as ANZ. So one more rate hike this half of the year, and then it will stay constant for another 12 months after. Now, Westpac was an interesting one. So Lucy Ellis, chief economist for the Westpac Banking Group, is by far the most pessimistic out of all of them. She predicts another 0.5 by June, which would bring the cash rate to 4.6%. She then predicts another 0.25% in the second half of 2026, and then it'll stay at that level. So if her prediction is correct, that forecast would take the cash rate to its highest level since the GFC.
I agree with her.
Which is pretty crazy.
Yeah. And me and her look like we're on the same page.
Well, the reality is when you talk about one of the big things they talk about in economics is signaling, right? The fact that these economists are having these kind of predictions, the fact that we are actually getting our interest rates back to GFC levels is the biggest signal in all of economics that things are not looking good. Yeah. It was one of the worst recessions, the world had seen.
Yeah.
We stayed out of recession during the GFC, but it was a battle. And it was because of government intervention we stayed out of recession ourselves. But yeah, I did also have a little mini snippet on the global economic review. There isn't that much there. The biggest thing is just that the tariffs didn't actually hit the world economy as hard as they thought. But that being said, Donald Trump always has something to say about it. He's going to tank the whole global economy now by shutting a Strait of Hormuz. So, they reopened it a couple of days ago, and then I saw this morning they closed it again.
Yes.
So, has it?
Oh.
Last I saw,
we should have a bell, and every time it opens or closes, we ring it. It's open.
Anyway, I'm the negative Nelly for this episode, and I have nothing positive to say about the economy and what's happening moving forward. It's not looking.
Do you know what, Christian? We all still have jobs. That's a positive. That's what I'm saying. For now,
we've still got jobs. That's a jinx.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's laminate.
That ain't wood, unfortunately.
Anyway, Ben.
Bit of a property market update for as of April 2026. Look, first time I've had to cover one, actually. So
I usually write the notes.
Maddie does normally
I just thought I'd give him some homework this time.
Yeah,
Maddie did the whole last episode.
Yeah.
She did really well. Look.
And now I'm like, Eddie's notes because I usually print a set off for you as well. So
selfish.
It's my mind.
Like I offered you a copy at the start.
I thought yours was just double
a copy
page.
at the start.
Oh.
No, have a read through. Like I can run through, and if you want to throw your 5 cents in, I'm happy to leave.
Yeah, I usually do.
So, guys, how's the property market? How are things? Should I buy a house? Should I be selling? What should I be doing?
It's steady.
Oh, I hate you.
But not a booming one.
I hate you. I hate you so much. Yes, I agree with Madison's statement there.
Madison too. Madison, good job. That was really good from you.
Thanks.
Oh, this is going to grind my gears. We're still getting growth, but it's slowed compared to the past COVID spurt, which was, nearly 3 years ago now?
5?
2021?
True. Missed a few years.
Yeah, I have. I've missed a few years there.
Been asleep.
Yeah, no sleep, unfortunately.
So the market's cooled off a bit.
I would agree. What would you think on that comment?
Yeah. I think the data shows that the market has started to.
How would you find it, though, from your personal experience?
I've personally, business-wise, has slowed down the last few weeks.
Yeah.
I'm busy.
We're getting less new inquiries.
Oh, here we go.
I am busy. No. Weirdly enough.
Comes in waves in this industry.
It does comes in waves. And right now, I'm on a good one.
To be fair, I just came off the back of one. So even in spite of.
But like in
I have
saying
been
that,
busy, but it has.
A lot of people are saying they are low on stock and, that's it. It just happens to be right now.
It's always a way. I can't complain. I've had a really good 4 months leading up till now.
Yeah.
And I just on the weekend or Friday had my biggest sale ever. But
yes.
The beers on you.
but yes, now I don't have much to sort of follow it up. So I'm going to have to jump on Mad's coattails there.
Yeah. You're just going to have to eat 2-minute noodles for a few months.
Biggest issue finding in the Illawarra is the lack of stock.
Mm-hmm.
Still getting a lot of buyer demand out there.
We're sitting at about 700 properties in the, I say Wollongong Greater region, for about maybe since about Christmas. Yep. Maybe dipped 680 to 750.
I think it might have cracked 8 December.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been long. It wasn't much.
And then it went back to that like 700 mark. Yep. This week, I've seen a massive influx of stock come on the market.
Well, I just double-checked before we came on. We're sitting at 758.
And it was 768 on Friday. So with obviously a few auctions happening yesterday. Yep. But that has been like the biggest number since before Christmas.
One of the stats that got me, in the last 6 months, there was 1,779 properties sold as per REA in the Wollongong Greater region. Mm-hmm. And then the previous 6 months to that was another 102 properties. 12 at 1,891 for the 6 months before.
So it's dipped.
It has dipped. Not a massive amount. Like we're talking under 10% there, between 5 and 10% off the top of my head. But still a drop.
Okay.
Still a drop. Lack of stock coming onto the market, and also then a drop of properties actually that are selling.
Yeah.
So,
what about listing times? Have you got anything on listing times?
The average days on market was sitting between 30 and 60 days, depending on the type of property.
Yeah.
It seems to have blown out a bit.
Look, I think it's always sort of been around that 30-day mark, but COVID was like, even the 2 years after that, you were under 30.
You still get your fluke property that's like a villa, or, your standout properties that you could fluke within the first 2 weeks on market.
Yeah.
And selling it in the first week and just holding out to the second just to make sure you've, turned over every stone. But yeah, look, you're looking at, about a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones do drag on, but I'd say on average, yes, it's definitely gone up.
Yeah.
Prices holding strong near peaks. Houses are sitting on average. Houses are sitting between 1.2 and 1.3.
Yeah.
And units around 7 to 750, depending on location.
Yeah.
So there's still stock out there, and they're still fetching reasonable prices.
Yeah.
But uncertainty, I think, as well in the market.
Rental market is mental.
Yeah.
We had an open home at a unit in Mercury Street within our office. 50 applications. 50 applications. Unit in Smith Street, 550, I think it was 600 a week. 24 groups, 12 applications. Like that is like COVID times.
I think it's the affordable ones in particular. And, as stupid as that sounds, is under $600 really, that's the new norm for being an affordable rental.
Yeah.
That's where the demand is for sure.
It's pretty crazy.
The rental market's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I'm sort of noticing as well, it's becoming more of a buyer's market.
For sure. Balls in their court.
Yeah, exactly right. There's, like you mentioned earlier, if it is one of those really sought after properties, that's where they've got to compete. But where it's something that either needs a bit of work or something like that, it's definitely a buyer's market. They're in a position to negotiate with vendors on settlement periods, on price in particular, and like Matt said, balls in their court.
Yeah. Well, look, you'd assume if the market is cooling off, then that ultimately means it's going to be harder to move stocks, right?
Yep.
So that means if you're a buyer, then you've got more power at the end of the day.
And we're usually having, one or two good buyers, serious buyers on properties, rather than like 4 or 5 people that are kind of just chucking in an offer to see where it lands.
Yeah.
I'm finding the people that are offering are genuine. So
I agree.
Are we finding?
Yeah. I think people, it's probably not a bad thing for the market. I've found that if people are serious these days, they're onto it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just sort of dawdling and then they'll wait 3 weeks and reach out. If they're keen on a property, they're keen. So you don't have to be, back and forth with 10 people. It's, you've got your 1 or 2 serious ones straight away.
Yeah.
Still some Sydney buyers, still entering the market, still dealing with a lot of people that are looking at a coastal change, looking for an entry-level investment, in particular further down south, I think as well. Not that we cover too much of that market, but dealing with properties down there, it does seem to be a lot of Sydney buyers. Interest rates, Kristian already touched on those.
We let our
They
men
are
do
the
that.
biggest wild card.
Yeah.
What are they doing? What was your prediction, actually? I didn't ask that while you were talking.
We're pretty confident they're going up. They have to. I don't see.
Are you on the Westpac side of things or the Commonwealth Bank side?
I think the RBA is going to be very careful about. I don't think they're going to just jack it up by crazy amounts like what Westpac think.
Yeah,
I think they need to err on the side of caution given how much instability and how much uncertainty there is at the moment.
Yeah, and that's
usually always the case in economics. There's always so much sort of. You're playing with powers that are pretty it's very hard to predict that kind of thing. And that's to your point of why they don't just jack it up by 0.5 and call it a day. They don't do that because if they overcorrect, it can be just as detrimental to the market as if they undercorrect. So that's why they're usually very cautious with
it. And that was one of the notes that I made there, that buyers are extremely cautious.
Yeah.
I think finding...
Oh, yeah.
Well, the problem that we also have is if we do end up dipping into a recession, that's going to massively impact... we go into a recession, right? One of the first markers of recession is unemployment goes up, people can't afford to live, cost of living. Usually what happens is
sales.
Well, that might flood the market with more stock because people are going to want to sell their homes because they can't afford to keep them.
I personally think that we're going to be flooded with a lot of investment properties in the next couple of months anyway, especially if they have the capital gains tax changes, which is definitely something we should discuss. It's a conversation.
I think that needs its whole episode in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but just to talk about stock from that perspective, yes, you're going to have a lot of stock flood the market.
And the negative gearing. And
it's not going to for us, I guess. I was going to say positively affect pricing. It's going to slow down pricing.
Yeah.
If there's a lot more stock out there, there's less demand.
Simple economics, you flood supply, it lowers price.
Exactly right. A lot of infrastructure still on the gong, a lot of investment into transport, health, lifestyle projects.
We've got new trains. Anyone a train nerd here?
They're on the South Coastline, yeah.
They are?
Yeah. Macaulay went on one.
And he already put in a complaint.
He put in a complaint.
For what?
He didn't like it.
Oh, my God.
They've got less seats, but I think that's just the point to make it a bit more luxurious and to come more often. But Macaulay, I should call him, ask what he didn't like.
Oh, my gosh.
I can't remember. He didn't tell me what the complaint was about. We got sidetracked, but we were laughing at him because we were like, his first time on the new train complaint.
Yeah. Nick's still itching to get on one. He's still trying to
hopefully get on one for Anzac Day next week.
Yeah. I'm sure you will keep it real clean and nice. So you definitely should get you guys on there.
Always do. And then affordability is becoming a real issue.
When hasn't it been?
You know what? At least we got the new trains right around the same time that they've basically doubled fuel prices. So it kind of evens.
Yeah, $5 billion on trains, $5 billion on fuel. We're all really.
We need some new buses now, and trains are electric too. So
yeah,
they're not going to charge anymore. I'm getting
some excuse. I feel like more expensive.
I'm getting an email every couple of days. Oh, we're increasing our pricing, fuel levies. I'm like, yeah, bro. Can I increase my price?
Yeah, because I have to drive to that bloody open.
Frustrating. Sorry, that was a weird joke.
What was it?
Oh, my steak's too juicy.
Uber's doing it as well.
Yeah,
Uber's upping their
surcharge. Yep.
Fuel surcharge.
Yep. Bullies will come in next.
Guys, just get your hockers on and start walking.
What?
Your hockers. I love my hockers.
That's a hocker shit.
A hocker shit.
A hock tour.
Am I stupid? What's a hocker?
You know the brand of shoes?
The shoes.
They're like the best running shoes ever.
Stick to your Sambas, Shags.
Yeah. Shags. Whoa.
I don't think we've ever dropped a
James Yardy too much.
I don't think we've ever dropped a Shags on this podcast.
I've been saying it lately. I said it 3 times on the field yesterday.
It's the best. Shagger. What's going on?
When you guys came into my office the other day and I was like, he's like, have you got anything coming? And I said, yeah, I signed this up. And he was like, and you're like this. Oh God, Shags or something like that, and it was because you were with James. I swear,
it always eventually makes a comeback. Like it goes through stages. We went through stages where our entire group just always said to each other, "It was Shag."
It's a Daniel Farina special.
Shagadonian. Yeah, it is a friend of Shagadonian.
Nick doesn't say Shags.
Shagadonian, you know.
It's a very Jake Morlando.
Shags.
He's always a Shags.
Nothing wrong with being top shagger. Anyway, yeah. As a bit of a overall wrap on that, there is still stock out there. Mm-hmm. There is still demand out there.
Yep.
Both of them are thinning.
I definitely wouldn't tell someone not to come on the market.
No, I don't think so. I think in particular, if their product is below 1.2, for an example, now is the perfect time.
Exactly.
I think if you have an investment property and you're thinking about selling it now is the perfect time
to give us a call.
Yeah, because if you're going to do it in 3 months after they
North.
absolutely bend people over with the new capital gains
Yeah.
tax,
And I don't think, you know what? I'm not going to add to that. It's its whole episode.
God, you have a way with words.
Me bending over, yeah. No, well, in all honesty, I think I've spoken to 8 people in a week over it. It's going to be massive.
It's for a lot of what it does is people who are holding longer term investments aren't as worried about it.
No.
And it's more the speculative investors, the ones who want to buy, hold it for a year or two, and then flip it.
Yeah,
or rent vest.
Yeah, no worries.
It's not worth flipping if you're going to have to pay 20% extra tax. Like it's which again, that's the whole point of it. That is literally the desired effect from the government. They want that to happen.
They want us to suffer.
They want to affect the minority of the investment market, who are then going to sell their properties to people who are going to live in them, and we're going to then have more of a rental shortage. In my opinion,
yes,
anyway.
we are. But that's its whole episode.
Okay,
Let's leave it.
I'll leave it at that.
Cut it.
When
you were saying that sentence, I could see your brain mechanics actually like.
I was quite wound up about that whole thing. Yeah. No, I think it's going to be another absolutely fantastic initiative from the Australian government.
They're
everything. Let's do everything we can do except fix the actual problem, which is supply.
Yeah. Anyway,
Australian government.
On that note, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us on our launch of season 2. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Any feedback?
We love
Please direct it straight to Kristian's inbox, especially if it's abuse. And
just nice compliments and good feedback
to me. So much deja vu out of that.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Said that exact sentence.
I think I have. I think I've used that line
word for word.
Anyway, on that note, over and out.
Arigato.
Oh, that's French. We're not doing that.
Wait, we changed from ciao to arigato? No.
I don't think I can do that for a season. I don't think I can say orange.
Okay, ciao.
Thanks for having us.
Goodbye.
Everything presented in this podcast is for information and entertainment purposes only, and all advice is to be considered general in nature. It does not take into account your personal circumstances and financial objectives. Please consider if this advice is right for you and look to consult a financial professional.